Hey everyone, Solariken here with a build video to go over my favorite setup for Veteran Maelstrom Arena. This is a really excellent build for learning and beating VMA for the first time, but it's also my most effective build for flawless runs, which is of course a run without any deaths or leaving the arena at all. This build won't get you to the top of the leaderboards by any means, but since it's a heavy armor build, it's very forgiving and will allow you to recover pretty easily from mistakes and also not get boned by lag spikes and bad luck like those damned mushrooms in stage 7. For gear, I'm using 5-piece Drew Kingslayer, which is great because you don't have to worry about keeping up major brutality, but the best bonus is the free major expedition for 20 seconds after each kill. You can avoid a metric crap ton of damage by running so fast, and in VMA this buff has about a 99% uptime. Vicious Serpent is a great option as well, but Drew King is more accessible, and in my opinion heavy armor is better for keeping you alive if you plan to shoot for a flawless run. And I'm also using Mighty Chuden, which equates to about 10% flat incoming damage reduction and a nice boost to health. You can tweak a lot of pieces with this build, but for me the magic number for HP and VMA seems to be about 20k plus, so I recommend you exceed that number if you want to shoot for a Flawless Conqueror. I happen to be an Imperial, which helps with the HP, but you can easily make this build work with any stamina focused race. I'm primarily using Chuden because keeping up Major Ward and Resolve is really tedious on a stamina Templar, especially when you have so many other active skills to rotate. So this set frees up a bar slot and makes my skill rotation easier. Another great option is Pirate Skeleton, but if you go with that set, make sure that you also use the Skeleton Polymorph, because the Pirate Skeleton monster set sometimes makes your animations hitch and bug out when it procs. The polymorph seems to suppress the transformation animation and keeps that bug from happening. And Bloodspawn is of course another solid choice. I'm using 3-piece agility, which is still best in slot in my opinion if you run a monster set, because the agility set bonuses are about 50% higher than normal set bonuses. I'm using a Maelstrom axe, dagger, and bow, but it's no problem if you don't have Maelstrom weapons. You could instead run 2-piece Lecky's Focus on the front bar for a decent weapon damage bonus, and pretty much any other bow will do. I use Drain Health Poison, which does a ton of damage and also has a really nice passive heal. The best potion for this build is Essence of Immovability with health and stamina, which is a nice burst heal when you need it and helps with stamina sustain, but also the almost 16 seconds of CC immunity is highly recommended, because if you get CC'd, you will likely die. As for skills, this is what I found works best for me as a stamina Templar, but these really come down to playstyle and preference. On the back bar, I use Caltrops for the long duration, nice AoE damage with a huge radius, and a nice snare to help you avoid damage when needed. You pretty much keep this at all times in an area where you're going to do most of your fighting. Endless Hail and Poison Injection, both really strong DPS abilities, but don't waste time using them on low health mobs. It's generally more efficient to just burst them down in your front bar. But these two abilities need to be up 100% of the time on bosses and crematorial guards, etc. Vigor is the main heal for the build. You will definitely use this a lot, and you usually want to do a pro combo of bar swap, then Vigor, then dodge roll when incoming damage is heavy. That gives you a couple seconds to recover. Repentance is of course a must-have sustainability for VMA. I slot Werewolf Ultimate for the passive 15% stamina regen whenever I'm on the back bar. On the front bar, I use Deadly Cloak for the 20% AoE damage protection, which is huge in VMA, but also it deals pretty decent damage. Power of the Light, this was buffed in the Homestead patch. It's really great. It helps with DPS, but also boosts your ultimate generation thanks to Dawn's Wrath passive. Biting Jabs obviously is the bread and butter spammable DPS ability for Stamp Templars. Binding Javelin is the primary CC, which gets used a lot. I also use it for a pseudo execute when I know I can kill a mob immediately to save the time channeling Biting Jabs. Radiant Ward is kind of a flex skill. You can replace it with just about anything, but for me, it's the only magic I dump on the build and does help a lot with survivability. Dawnbreaker Smiting, what can I say? It's the bee's freaking knees. Huge burst damage and beastly AoE CC. You can also use Crescent Sweep, but I just can't seem to give up that CC from Dawnbreaker, and the passive weapon damage from Dawnbreaker is nice too. Champion points are pretty flexible, but I recommend at least focusing blue points between Mighty, Precise Strikes, and Thaumaturge. Red points between Hardy, Elemental Defender, and Thick-Skinned. And the most important green pools will probably be Warlord, Mooncalf, and Tumbling. I'll put a link in the description to a full flawless playthrough of VMA if you want to check it out for insight into the DPS rotation or boss mechanics, etc. If there's anything I forgot to talk about, or you just want to theorycraft, hit me up in the video comments, and please feel free to grope the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in Tamriel.